Hey
Is
everybody,
this live?
welcome. We are live, my friend. Hello everyone.
Hi,
uh,
guys.
hey, we're here back with my favorite guy, Pete. It's always a pleasure and honor to have Pete on the broadcast. And, we're coming back because we just want to give you as much value as possible. We really enjoy going live and answering your questions and educating you about tennis and how to improve your game. Hey, Judy, how are you doing today? I'm looking forward to it too. And today we're going to cover really two things. So, how to beat the sometimes some people call it MEP, but a lot of people know it as the pusher game style. And then also how to defeat players who have more weapons than you on this live stream. Hello to Saleh as well. Hope you're doing well. And so Pete is has some great ideas. We were talking before about this, and we can't wait to just help you, with these concepts as well as let you know about a really awesome deal that is expiring tonight as well. So that's really important that we're going to tell you about too. So Pete, what's going on?
Well, first of all, I just want to congratulate you on another amazing Tennis Summit 2021. That is awesome. Once again, I had a blast.
Thank
And
you.
so I wanted to think of the most interesting topic to go over tonight that I know, I mean, basically, these are like your two worst nightmares. And so tonight it's how to dismantle players with more weapons than you. And we are going to use the MEP blueprint. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this guy play online. He's one of the most interesting players to watch. It's on this channel called the TennisTroll. So we're using him as our inspiration, kind of like our guide. And then also how to dismantle the dreaded pusher, which a lot of people might say MEP is. So I think you guys are going to really, really enjoy tonight. I think it's a fascinating broadcast. We're going to be using, we are friends with the TennisTroll. I've actually hit with the TennisTroll, which is Subash, who runs the channel. And I've given MEP 2 serve lessons, which I can tell he has taken none of it to the practice court and used. But I think he's just one of those guys who's an enigma, and it's like you probably shouldn't mess with his game. You just like don't mess with the MEP's game because he actually does a lot of things. No matter what your level is, whether you have the same type of strokes as he has, or whether your strokes are much more superior, you can still use a lot of his ideas. In fact, a lot of my students who have really nice strokes, better than this guy's strokes you're going to watch tonight, I wish they would take a lot of his ideas and use it, because then they would win a lot more matches. They would beat players at their level, they would beat players who are better than them, and they would also beat players who they walk off the court shaking their head at. I mean, there's a lot of ideas that he uses, even though he doesn't have the best strokes, that win across the board. It's just like solid, good, smart tennis.
Yeah, for sure, Pete.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for it. So I'll just let you take it away.
Okay, cool. Well, the first thing, I'm going to share my screen, but as I share my screen, and maybe you can watch the comments. First of all, who knows who I am talking about? If you've heard of MEP, MEP, if you know who I'm talking about, in the chat, let us know. Yeah, I know MEP, or what you guys think about his game. What are some thoughts that go through your head? So I'm going to share the screen now, and Mehrban will keep the eye on the screen and let me know how I'm doing, like if it's working. How are we looking so far?
Looking good. It's up here.
Okay, it's up, and we're
Yeah, we
blowing
just
up
need
the
to
screen.
maximize. Yep.
There we
Beautiful.
go. Okay. So, guys, here in the green shirt, if you don't know, his name is Ben, and he's a super nice guy, first of all. And this is Subash. This is the guy who actually started the TennisTroll channel. And this is the first match that I guess you could say went viral. This match has 220,000 views. Think about that. Imagine like your league matches, you see like maybe, that's the power of the internet. Maybe 5 or 6 people see this. No one's actually watching this match, but 220,000 people saw this match. That's pretty kind of neat to think when you think about it. And what was fascinating about this match, Subash did pull it off, but a lot of people quickly realized that the MEP here was like their worst nightmare. Okay, the worst nightmare, because you're going to see Subash has pretty good strokes. MEP doesn't have traditional strokes, but he's a hell of a competitor. and gave orange shirt guy all he could handle. And if you go read the comments, you're going to see a lot of things that were like, yeah, I think one of the comments was like, yeah, I watched 3 points of this match, and then I went and I smashed all my rackets. And that's the kind of thing that I think we also have when we're playing. People like Mep is we have very short fuses, very little patience for the whole experience, and we actually start to get angry or start to hate our opponent. And one thing that's kind of interesting is from the first video that was made, a lot of the comments were negative, were kind of making fun of him. Then as they got to know him and his personality, they peeled back the onion. The more they watched him play and they saw him compete with all kinds of players, a lot more respect started to come, a lot more comments started to come, a lot more like, I love Mep. I've been waiting all week for this match. Mep, you're a legend. So, that's the first thing I think you need too, is that respect for every opponent, where they hit the ball hard, where they hit the ball soft, whether they're all court player. Gaining that respect for your opponent is also going to make your performance go way up, right? If you're ready to smash a racket after just watching 3 points, there's some issues there. So we need to get rid of those. But what we're first going to cover is actually what he does well. And I'm going to play some points. We're going to play it in slow motion. I'm going to talk about some points as they come up. But I want you to watch this guy's match after tonight. Watch his matches. And what you're going to notice is something that everybody can learn from, no matter what level you are. He is even-tempered no matter what. He is truly the ultimate definition. If you probably heard a coach say, hey, if you're playing, I don't want to know if you're winning or losing. You really cannot tell if this guy is winning or losing based off of how he's playing, how his body language is, how he goes about his business. So I'm going to push play here. We're going to put in slow motion. And just let me know, can we see this, Mehrban, pretty good? It looks like it's frozen here. Here we go.
Yeah,
it's moving. Okay, so here's his first strike. This is literally his forehand. You're going to see the other guy. He played college tennis. Okay? Watch Subash's forehand. It's a forehand winner down the line. And the thing is Mep doesn't even react. He's just, okay, let's go. Let's see if you can do that like 100 more times. So some of the things that you can do if you're playing somebody. So obviously, Mep's opponent here today has more weapons. Okay? But I noticed that one of the things that he does is on the run, if you come to the net, he'll make you play low balls. He'll usually throw up lobs. So again, this guy's starting off really well. I noticed this guy started off really well. And again, you're going to notice that Mep just kind of goes, and he always, here's something you can write down. So the first 2 things I want you to write down that's going to help you become a better player is he's always even-tempered, and he always plays within himself. He doesn't panic. He doesn't go, oh, this guy's starting to hit the ball so much harder than me. I better match him power for power. He just basically goes, can you do this again and again? One of the things he does when he gets on the run, as we saw it right there, he likes he will throw up high balls. So this is another tip I want you to write down. In fact, if he didn't get the ball high enough here, he's probably going to be in. So it takes him a while to get in the rhythm, and Subash is kind of cleaning house with him to start off and breaks him. But you're going to notice as we get into more and more points that they get more and more competitive, and he makes them work harder. So what he kind of went against his blueprint, you notice as he got in the corners, how he didn't hit the ball high, and he paid for that. But as he gets to this match, and as he gets in the corners, he starts to get the ball deeper and higher when he gets in trouble. Here we go. Let's see. Is this his first one? He kind of, again, that's a little too short. So he's in trouble right now. So notice that you're not getting that ball in trouble. So he's kind of going against his own philosophy. If you watch a lot of his matches, when he gets on the run like that, he's getting the ball high. If you watch this match from start to finish, it's just fascinating. There he goes. There's his first pass. That's another thing that he does So this is another thing I want you to write down. Whether you're seeing him win points or lose points right now, I can tell you they start to really even out. Is he likes to bring in his opponent. So if you're playing somebody who's got, like, he doesn't want this. This is not what he wants. This is usually when Subhash is going to be in control. But let's see, he gets him with a lob. See, the Met magic is starting to happen. But lots of times he'll intentionally hit a low skitter to bring somebody in, not on their own terms. Mehrban, how are we doing? Like, here's a tough ball right here. Let's see how this goes.
Wow.
And he hits the pass. So he'll do that a lot. So are we able to see these videos pretty good?
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Yeah, it's smooth.
Okay. And how are the comments? Are people saying that they have seen this guy play before, or is this new to them?
Yeah, I've seen some people mention the MEP before, but yeah, I mean, more of you, if you've seen this type of player or played this type of player before, definitely say so in the comments. I certainly have played this type of person. Not easy.
Yeah, I think we all have. And I can tell you that, again, he's playing somebody who played college tennis. And I would say, like, if this is a video game, he's like on level 30 of pushers, you know. That's another thing, too. When he gets on the run and people come to the net, he throws up lobs right away. So that's another thing I want you to write down. If you're playing somebody who's better than you, if they come in on something good, don't try and hit a fancy, you know, crazy good-looking passing shot. Throw up lobs right away. You know, notice how much Subhash is having to work for every point. And that's what happened. Look at this. I think Subhash might even get up 3-0, but it turns into a dog fight. I really do want you writing down these points. Here's another writer downer. Is when you're playing, hopefully he'll lob this up. Let's see if he gets one high. He's a little short on other matches. He does a better job when he gets in the corner of lobbing the ball up high and deep. There he goes. He gets that a little deeper. See how he basically neutralized that right there?
Yeah.
Another thing that he likes to do, and I think it's a reason why he's down early, and it'll be interesting to see if he changes this. But I notice when he beats players like that, guys, he's down 2-0. When he is winning, when he is beating players who have better strokes like Subhash does, okay, he won that game. So write this down. He hits a lot through the middle. Because obviously he's not going to out-hit Subhash, right? Subhash, we can see, has pretty good offense. And there's a lob. Let's see how this lob turns out. See that? Now he's neutralizing the point. Now he's probably going to go low at the feet. Yep, look at that. So again, he's making Subhash earn this. I bet he hits a drop shot here. Look at that. Drop shot. Now all of a sudden he's turned this point around, guys. This is the magic of MEP. So when he gets into rallies, look at that, 2-all, just like that. When he gets into rallies, he loves to go through the middle, making his opponent create angles and create this. Also loves to bring people in, as we've talked about. See, here he is bringing people in. He's got a nice little low. He likes to pass low. I bet you this is a lob. I bet you this is a lob. Look at that. He's not going to try and hit a passing shot on the run. So you can see he's starting to find his game. This is when people start to get into a nightmare with him. See that defense? That's amazing. So this is how he starts to beat players. Now look, he's up. This is how he starts to beat players that most people would go, oh, that guy's clearly better than MEP. And it all just starts to, now imagine you're Subhash and you're on video playing him, how nervous you're getting. But you can see he makes you earn it. So this is the kind of stuff you want to do if you feel like you're playing. Even if you have better strokes than him, this stuff is going to work. This is the kind of stuff you want to do. Any questions, Mehrban, that you have?
That I have. Let's see. So, what are your thoughts on Subhash's, how much he should be going to the net to counter this type of player. What are your thoughts on that type of counter?
Well, I think when I'm watching this match back, I actually think that he did a pretty good job. This is not one thing too that you got to give credit to Subhash. He ultimately does end up winning. And you notice that he doesn't lose his temper. He's not out there going, "Oh, I can't believe, I used to play college tennis and now I'm, in a dogfight with a scrub like this." He's not doing any of that. So I like how he's sticking with his game plan. And I like how he's not in a rush to get to the net. He's letting the game come to him. He's waiting for the short ball. And you can see he's winning a fair amount of these. So I think he understands what time it is. I think he knows that this guy is a lot tougher to play than a lot of people in the comment section. There's a lot of people in the comment section understood how tough this guy is, but a lot of people also would say, "Oh, I would mop the floor with this guy. I just hit a bunch of winners against this guy." So I think he's being pretty patient. I like what I'm seeing from Subhash. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he's picking his spots, and I agree. He is approaching when possible and playing an attacking style. And I just think with this type of player, it really helps if you have weapons that you can use to gradually break down the player into giving you short balls. I remember playing a player kind of like this, but with better strokes. But he wouldn't really hurt you too much. He would just get every ball back, and so I was just able to work the point with my forehand and then get openings and hit to them and then come to the net, and that's kind of how I was successful. But it's tough, if you're not confident in your net game, a lot of times this type of player is going to really, really cause you a lot of problems.
Yeah. Another thing to write down, that if you want to take plays out of Mep, everybody's going to play better players. Everybody's going to play players that have more power. Look at that pass. Everybody's going to play players that have more power, that have better strokes at some point. You always play those players who are just a level above you. One thing that keeps Mep in a lot of matches, so write this down, is work on your fitness. Mep accepts that he is going to face a lot of winners. He accepts that he's going to have to do a lot of running. He accepts that he's going to have to work hard. He has the confidence in his game that that's okay. You see,
look at that.
He wants these type of points.
Toying with him here.
That guy. Yeah. So again, notice that's one of the points that I made earlier. He intentionally brings people in. Now you can see he's doing a better job of doing all the things I was mentioning in the beginning. Bringing people in on his terms, hitting deep through the middle. If you've noticed, as the match has gone on, he's doing a better job at all the things we talked about earlier. And so it's effective. Look, there he is, drawing him in again. So lots of times, when people get a short ball, they think, "Oh, it's my responsibility. I got a short ball here. I have to come to the net." Lots of times when he's playing in the midcourt, notice how often he takes that pressure off himself to go, I don't have to hit and come to the net. This is a great time for me to draw my opponent into the net. Lots of times when he moves into the court, he brings his opponent in intentionally and says, "Okay, hit this low little slimer and come in and see how you do against my low cross-court passing shots and my deep lobs." Now here he is in the corner. I bet you he should lose this point. Look at that. See, so he went against his own blueprint there. When you're in that corner, you got to throw up the high ball. If you watch a lot of his matches, a lot of times he disguised that up. So when you get off the court like that, don't do what he just did. Hit it high, and you're going to see him do that. Okay. Another thing is he loves the challenge. He absolutely loves the challenge. We're going to watch a couple of points against people that actually beat him up pretty good. And he just talks about tennis the same way, whether he wins or loses. He's always just analyzing what's going on, and you're never going to see this guy upset. He just loves the challenge of tennis. So that's another thing I want you guys to write down. And the final thing is he focuses on his strengths and not his flaws. That ball is out. So those are all the things. You are playing somebody who's better than you. This is how to dismantle people who have obviously better technique than you. That's the MEP blueprint of how to beat players that most people would say, oh, well, that player looks like they're better than you. That's how you beat them. So I am stopping to share the screen. What do we got? Tell me some comments. What have we missed here, Mehrban?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have a lot of questions. This is a very popular topic. So first off, let me turn my sound. I think it's a little bit high here. So first we have Peter Astor. What do you do when your serve breaks down?
I think when your serve breaks down, you have to first of all ask yourself, well, what kind of server are you? You know, is your serve breaking down and you have a 4-5-5-0 stroke? If you have a 4-5-5-0 stroke, then it's giving yourself the pointers. You could be like, okay, I got to put more spin on my first serve and get more first serves in. I've got, when I miss, the 3 ways you're going to miss a serve is in the net. When I miss the ball in the net, I got to tell myself this one thing: keep my head up. If I'm missing wide, it's shoulder rotation. If I'm missing long, I got to snap sooner. So that's how I kind of navigate myself if I'm having a bad serve day as a 4-5+5-0 player. If I'm a 3-5 player and I'm having a bad serving day, you know, sometimes, you know, don't look what Mep does, and he hangs with that guy easily who's playing as a 4-5 player. I've hit with him. He's good. Mehrban, I guarantee if you went and hit with Subhash, you'd go, this guy's good. Like, he hits the ball big. And so, you know, Mep can go out there and just literally push the serve in, and he doesn't worry about it. You know, he's like, I'm going to get a high percentage of first serves in and just play. So if you're having a bad serve day and let's say your serve is not fully developed, don't worry about it. Push it in, get on with business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, beautiful. Thanks, Pete. So, ton of these. Let's see. A lot of comments. Most exhausting player. That is what MEP stands for. Let's see what else we got. Scrolling down. You have to generate your own pace. That's true, Kelly. Yeah, you do. Question from Saleh. Is the coach's choice on the Pro Tour advised or really or chosen by the player? So I guess it's more of like a Pro Tour question, but I don't know if you want to comment on that.
I really don't. I mean, I think most of the time it's word of mouth, it's suggestions. You know, like if you're in a rut and you want a new coach or you're looking for a new coach, I think it's lots of times getting with your manager, or your team, or your parents. It's like, who's out there? Would this be good for you? I think it's definitely more on the player's end, but, you know, I'm not going to speak to that. I know what's going on behind the scenes. I know some people who coach on the Pro Tour, like Kevin O'Neill, who's actually a pretty good friend of mine, coaches Katie McNally, who plays with Coco Gauff, and you know, he helps Coco too. But, you know, I'm not going to act like I know exactly what happens in every situation, and really, we don't really need to worry about that for our game. Let's stick with our game tonight. But I do appreciate the question. So we're halfway through. So what I want to make clear is what we just watched was, if you are playing somebody who has more skills than you, those were the tips on how to beat them. Next, we're going to flip it, and we're going to talk about, how do you beat MEPs? How do you beat MEPs? If you're Subhash, how do you dismantle MEP easier? That's what we're going to get into now. But Mehrban, this is your last night, buddy. This is the last night to where you've put in 45 plus of the best coaches on the planet and people have been able to taste test it now for 7 days. How can they own lifetime access, and what's everything they're going to get? Plus, I got a bonus for them if they buy tonight. This is the last night, guys. Then this is going up on the shelves. Go ahead.
Yeah, everybody. So we have a great package for you. So basically, I've gotten so many emails from people who have told me just how much they love the Tennis Summit. And, you know, if you have the free ticket, then it was available for, you know, last week and all that. And we had an encore. But, you know, a lot of times we want to go back to lessons that have really impacted us and that we think can help us. And there was so much on the Tennis Summit that I created the All Access Pass. And so I'm just going to share my screen real quick and go to the other screen. And yeah, so I just want to fill you in on all the great stuff that you get with the All Access Pass and just how much value we've put into it for you. And this is actually expiring tonight. So after tonight, you can no longer get this. It'll be closed off. And that's it. So tonight at midnight Pacific time. So you get lifetime access to it's 47 videos. Anytime you want, you can access them in the members area for the one-time fee of $97. You also will get the audio MP3 files of all the summit sessions, which is very popular. People love listening to it wherever they are, in the car, the shower, cooking, wherever. You also get transcripts of all the summit sessions, which takes a ton of time for my team to do and is a great addition to the package. You also get the Tennis Summit implementation worksheet to help you extract and then implement what you've learned in each session. Then you'll get access to the Summit Facebook group, which has been really fun for me to correspond with everybody, talk with them about tennis in this private group. And then you get a members-only live stream with myself and guest coaches, and you get special deals and discounts. But we also have Pete giving us the top 10 TennisCon lessons plus a Tabata workout, which is a $197 value, and that's only if you use Pete's link today. So, Pete, do you want to talk any more about that?
Yeah. So, Mehrban, if you could do me a favor, you could put the link in the chat, my link, if that's okay. And then also, if you're on the page looking at this, I think that is my link. Is that correct? If you're watching it on this page?
Yep.
Okay. And if you get an email from me, so that'd be great. I would appreciate it. And then I will be able to see all my buyers list tomorrow when I wake up. It'll be like Christmas for me and for you. I go, oh, great. These are all our new students inside lifetime access of the Tennis Summit. And then I will take that list and I will put it into my email system, and I will email you the link with all of this, the top 10 TennisCon lessons. So we've got great lessons from our TennisCon All-Stars, which if you don't know what TennisCon is, it's basically like the Tennis Summit, except for there are going to be some different lessons that we have for you. And then also a Tabata workout that I did, which a lot of people are asking about. So I will send that to you tomorrow, besides everything on this list. So make sure you take advantage of that. If you do not, and again, if Mehrban could put this in the chat for me, if you do not get an email from me by 1 p.m. tomorrow, if you don't get an email from me by 1 p.m. tomorrow, email, and you know you bought from my link, email me at crunchtimecoaching@gmail.com. Is there a way we could even write that across the screen like we do on StreamYard, or write that somewhere?
Yeah, I can try to write that somewhere.
Yeah, so if you guys, because look, and so I want to make sure you get these bonuses. So if you don't get them from me, you can see he's putting it right there. Email me at crunchtimecoaching@gmail.com and say that you didn't get your bonuses, and I will email them to you. And for whatever reason, if another 24 hours goes by and you still don't get your bonuses and you emailed me, email me again. I want to make sure that you get these bonuses because I'm proud of them, and I want you to, you know, what Mehrban and I want is I want you to feel fully satisfied. I don't want you to feel like, oh, I signed up for something, I didn't get this, I didn't get that, I'm kind of feeling gypped or whatever. We want to make sure you get everything coming to you. So if you ever don't get everything coming to you, just know that maybe we missed your email, or maybe you missed our email. There are some people who go, I didn't get it, and then all of a sudden they'll email me like an hour or two later going, oh, never mind, I got it, I didn't see it. So just make sure that you get it. Okay.
Beautiful.
Kelly says, can you confirm that you received mine? I cannot confirm on this call. I mean, the list is huge. So, but Kelly, if you have not gotten your bonus yet, you should get another email tomorrow at before 1 p.m., sometime before 1 p.m. tomorrow. And Kelly, if you don't get it tomorrow, email me. Also look in your promotions tab and your spam tab for whatever reason if you're not getting something, because it could be there too. Okay. There's a great question before we go on to the next row, which is it enough to incorporate some of MEP's strategy if you're facing a stronger opponent, or do you need to go full MEP? That is a great question. Here's the thing, guys. I always want you to play your game. I'm not asking you to become MEP or play like MEP or adopt his strokes. But what I am asking you to do is to do the following 10 things. So again, I want to name them out because I do think they're important before we go to the next thing. Number one, and this doesn't matter what type of strokes you have, whether you have ugly strokes or beautiful strokes, be even tempered throughout the entire match. Don't get too high. Don't get too low. That's what he does. Number two, play within yourself always. He plays within himself. Number three, do your rallies through the middle. So let's say your strokes are nice. Boom. Okay. But you're playing somebody who's just a little better than you. Hit your nice stroke through the middle. Don't be trying to go corner to corner with somebody who's going to out-duel you in that. Go through the middle. Make them come up with all the great shots. Okay. Number four was absorb pace. That's probably his greatest skill. A lot of people with his strokes can't absorb the type of pace that he can. So that's another skill he has more than just work on being able to absorb pace. I think that's a little bit of a gift, though, that he has. Number five is on his short ball opportunities. So when you get a short ball opportunity, sometimes come to the net, but also look at it as an opportunity to sometimes draw your opponent forward, right? So if you're playing somebody and they're breaking you down, you always hit. Notice in the beginning of the match, the short balls were coming on Subhash's terms. The ball was sitting up. It was easy. Subhash was putting a lot of those away. As the match went on and MEP could get into the court, he'd hit these little slices and bring him in on his terms. It went a lot better for the MEP like that. Number six is every time you get pushed in a corner, and again, in the beginning of the match, and MEP's done this a lot better in other matches I've watched, when you get forced in the corner, hit the ball high out of that corner and deep. You notice when he didn't do a good job, he lost the point. When he did do a good job, he won the point. Think about number seven. Think about a one pass, one lob pattern. Sometimes people, they just try and pass. Try a pass. If the opponent does a good job with their volley, go to the lob. I can't think of too many players, and we even saw Subhash, who again is, I'd say, between a high 4-0, really, really high 4-0, to a pretty good 4-5, who could definitely also go out and play 5-0 matches. We noticed when he got lobs, last times he couldn't put that overhead away. Imagine a 3-5 trying to put away a good lob. Doesn't really happen too often. Mm-hmm. Number 8, get fit. Because when you get fit, you're ready to play people who, you just love playing anybody. Number 9, love the challenge. Okay. What's cool about MEP is we're about to watch some points where he obviously got smoked. And he's just as happy as a clam because he just wants to challenge himself. He just wants to take all comers and see how his game holds up. Number 10, don't worry about your flaws. Focus on your strengths. And a lot of you might go, shoot, I feel in my mind I got more strengths than the MEP, So focus on those and use those. How you beat players who are another level, when you look at them play that you think they are. But, hey, if you can beat them, are they another level above you? Maybe they're not. Maybe you're at that level, or you're just playing smarter than you ever have in your life. You do those 10 tips, you will be playing smarter tennis. That goes for everybody. Shoot, if I took all 10 of these tips and applied them, I'd be playing better tennis.
Love it, Pete. Yeah, I think it's probably best to just pick a few of them, maybe just one, and concentrate, and then rinse and repeat. And yeah, the fitness one is so important. I remember having to play a MEP style player in the beginning of the season, and I wasn't able to really practice much before then or train, and I just knew right away that I was in for a world of hurt. So I guess that's playing against a MEP, but if you want to, play like the MEP and use, this weapon, fitness, then obviously you need to work on it consistently. And we have, I think 6 or 7 really great fitness sessions in the Tennis Summit All Access Pass, which you can check out anytime you want. I can tell you, after these sessions, based on what Dean did for the live workout, that's my workout. That's one of my workouts weekly. And then, based on what Satoshi Ochi, who's the head of strength and conditioning at USTA, told me and what we went through in his presentation, that's another workout. He shows you exactly how to make one. So that's just one of the elements, fitness, which is really awesome in the All Access Pass. So just want to mention that. But Pete, feel free to continue.
Okay. All right. Now what we're going to do is talk about how to beat a MEP, how to beat someone that you would call a pusher, a counter puncher, whatever you want to call them. Okay. Maybe you should call them a counter puncher. Maybe you should stop calling them a pusher. Okay. But everybody knows that term. So that's why we use it. We know that you're going to go, ooh, I want to learn how to do that because they drive me crazy. Tom Nordstrom also, I see you signed up 2 weeks ago before the event. Tom Nordstrom, you are a dear friend and a loyal follower. Email me and I will make sure to send you that bonus link. You definitely deserve it. Okay. Let's get into this. All right.
Cool.
Right here, I'm going to share the screen.
Okay.
And let me know when it's happening.
There we go.
So what's kind of interesting about this is I love the names that they come up with. Most exhausting player versus boss of Atlanta. Now, what's interesting is I've seen a lot of players play the MEP with much better strokes than the boss of Atlanta has. Okay? But the boss of Atlanta was the boss of MEP here on this day. He beat him up pretty good. And so this is how you can beat a MEP or a pusher or whatever. And so we're going to start going through this. So the first thing is right after the match, and maybe we'll get really courageous and even show the if it goes well, we might show a little bit of the post-match interview, which is kind of cool. But we'll do that at the end. But one thing that he said is, I knew I was in for a battle, and I knew that I had to work the point, that I just couldn't, go for winners. And so when you're going to play somebody, they don't have any strokes. And then you start, and then you're like 3 games in and it's close. And you're like, I should be killing this player, right? This guy knew that he's got to work. He's like, if I don't work, I'm not going to win. So stay positive and play with respect, not hate. Okay? Some people actually start to hate the experience. They hate themselves. They hate their opponent. They hate the conditions. They start to hate. Play with respect, not hate. Be ready and accept longer points. And look at the longer points not as a dreaded nightmare. And this is what this guy did so well. In fact, we'll just start playing some points here as I talk. Look for these longer points as multiple, and this is what people don't do. They feel like if I'm going to play somebody like this, I can't get in the long rallies. I've got to end the point short. Let me know if that's the way you think that you need to play and beat a pusher, is think like, I've got to end the point quick. No, look at these long points and go, well, this guy's not going to be hitting a ton of winners against me. Mep actually starts off, it's kind of interesting. This match starts the opposite. Mep starts off kind of even, then it slowly slips away from him. So as you guys keep watching, just keep listening. Try and watch and listen. But look at these points as multiple opportunities to set up offense. And if it doesn't give you the look that you want, don't be afraid to reset the offense. A lot of people, like this right here, that was a terrible decision, right? So in the beginning, he's making bad decisions. Like, he didn't need to hit. Why would he go to hit that shot? He hit that shot for no reason. As you see him start to play these points, you're going to see him start to set points and reset offense, and start to slowly but surely take over points from the Mep and finish. He finishes a lot of points at the net. I'll just tell you that right now. He finishes a lot of points at the net. And he just really takes his time waiting for his ball. Here's one thing he does too. No, I won't say that yet. I was about to say something, but I'm not going to say it. Okay, that will be a later point. Any questions as we're watching this? Have any comments come through, Mehrban? That's point number one.
Let's see here. I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're okay. Just chat. Let me know in case we missed anything, but I think we're good. Okay. Oh, actually, did we get to this one, Pete? So Samantha had asked before, how do you get them to stop making you run side to side and be the one in control?
Okay, if you are playing, if you're playing someone stronger than you, or if you are playing a pusher.
I think if you're playing someone stronger than you, so the first half of the presentation.
Yeah, it's a lot of, believe it or not, one thing that's interesting, if you hit a lot through the middle, you'll probably run less than if you hit a little side to side, because you're opening up angles. So Mep hits a lot through the middle when he's playing well, and deep through the middle. Okay. So if you hit deep through the middle, a lot of times you'll be in good shape. Like, look at that. Deep through the middle to the backhand, he's right in the point. So the more you kind of give your opponents angles to work with, you can kind of get yourself in trouble. Like, this is a nice patient point from both players we're watching here. And the other thing is, when you do get run, rather than hit the ball fast on the run, hit the ball high. Let's see. Say this is a shorter ball. This guy can look how patient this guy is. And that's going to lead me to my next point. Look at that. He's really breaking this point down. He did a great job of this. Look at that. He went offense, tried to set, but look how he was ready to get in reset mode, but missed that. Did you guys? That's a perfect example. He had offense, but he didn't quite put that ball away. You didn't see him panic, though. You could see he was getting ready to reset the point. So just keep watching as we're talking, because this guy does a great job. And here's my next point. And this guy probably has done this better than anybody. When people lose to counterpunchers, they do one of two things. They start to overhit and play above their ability, and they start to go for too much, or they do the opposite. They hit at the same exact pace as the counterpuncher. What this guy did so well is he always stayed a gear to 2 gears as far as pace out in front of Mep. He always hit just slightly harder than Mep to stay in control of points. And another thing that we just saw, so another point I want to make, is that one thing that this guy did that Subhash didn't do, why the meat fell off the bone easier for this guy, because Subhash has way better strokes than this dude, okay? But you can see right here, here's a good example of staying a gear or 2 ahead, and he comes to the net. But another thing that this guy did so well was he also, sometimes when he got a short ball, he'd hit and come on in. Other times when he got a short ball, he would intentionally bring the MEP in. And you notice, look at that. Oh, he missed that. You notice that Subhash never really got a short ball in the midcourt and intentionally brought MEP in. But what I think made MEP uneasy is that, look at this. This is exactly what we're talking about. Is when this guy got a short ball, he didn't know if this, look at this, and then he goes and hits another little short ball back. See, he was very good at the cat and mouse. He didn't know when this guy got a short ball. He's always expecting people to get short balls. Mep knows when he plays people, he's going to give up plenty of short balls. But he's always expecting them to attack and get into defensive mode and get ready for a pass or a lob. This guy would sometimes come in on him, and sometimes he'd bring Mep in intentionally. And notice how they're both hitting through the middle a lot. They're both playing in kind of Mep style. But this guy's just kind of out-mepping the Mep while also staying more offensive than him. Mehrban, thoughts on what we're saying so far?
No, I love it. A lot of great stuff here. I was actually creating a list that we can share because we got a lot of questions about recapping the list. But I'm trying to see which one I like. I mean, you know what? The very first one you talked about, stay positive and play with respect, not hate. I think that's really important just to have that mindset when you're playing the MEP, because I think a lot of people just have a lot of negative thoughts flood into their head, and you have to really make sure that you have the right even keel mindset and, respect the player for what they are. And, if you underestimate them, then you're in for a rough day most of the time. So a lot of great stuff here. I'm just checking if there's any questions to look at, but I think we're good for now.
Let me ask you a question, Mehrban. If people get the lifetime access pass, can they watch this video over again?
Yes, you know what? I'll put it in there. I'll put it in there if you guys get the all access pass. I will put it in there for you to watch.
Sorry to give you more work, but what I'm thinking is, I hope everybody who's on has stayed on because of course it's fun to watch videos of Federer, but I'm telling you what we've said today, I think deserves 2 or 3 listens. Yeah. And you're going to find yourself in this situation, in these types of matches, way more than you are going, oh, I wish I could hit the ball like Rafael Nadal, sliding buggy whip forehand. Then I'd be so much better. No, it's like if you learn how to play like these two players, it's the lessons of what they're doing well. And when you can see their mistakes when it's not going well, and really study this, I guarantee you will come up with way more W's than trying to get Federer's forehand down step by step by step. Not to say that it's not. I'm also a big believer in technique because at some point, just in your face technique, like when Mep, there's some players that Mep would play on the TennisTroll that their technique is so overwhelming. There's some 5-0 plus players that, Mep wouldn't be able to go with them toe to toe because their technique is so much better. So I'm not saying not to focus on technique, and it's not super important, but this is just huge stuff here. Okay. This is a big one. And this guy did this extremely well. I want everybody to write this down, and Mehrban maybe write this tonight. I want you guys to start to work on developing a confidence meter when you play. And I want you to be brutally honest where your confidence meter is. And what does that mean? A confidence meter is like, that there are certain shots that you're playing a counter puncher or a pusher. There's certain shots where you get a great look to where you're telling yourself, I should be crushing this forehand and putting it away. But you might feel such anxiety that as you're hitting it and going for it, this is where people really start to lose matches. As you're hitting it and going for it, like look how beautifully this guy's saying up this point. See, he had a good confidence meter on that. He played within himself and hit a good shot. As you're hitting it and going for that, you truly don't believe you're going to make it. You're just going for the shot because you know it's the right shot in your mind. Like, it's a weak ball. I should be crushing this. Where if your confidence meter isn't high, if you're not feeling it, don't force it. And that's what this guy does so well. When this guy sees a short ball and his confidence meter feels good, if he's feeling like in control of the point, he's going to take and sweep across the ball and hit a nice cross-court shot or an approach shot down the line. But when he's not feeling it, lots of times I've seen this match, he'll chip approach shots. If he's not feeling it, he'll bring the MEP in, you know. But if he's feeling it, just like he felt that one pretty good to go for it, he'll sweep it across cross court. Let's see if he's feeling this. Let's see what he does. See, he wasn't feeling it there. He could have gone for a winner there. He's like, I don't need to. I wasn't feeling the confidence on that. So I'm just going to stay in the point. You know, so pay attention to this guy's confidence meter. He felt a little confident there. He's thinking maybe I should go in, stayed back. So he really he's good at being in tune with what he feels like when he should be going for the ball and when it's not quite ready to do it. Any questions from anybody?
Yeah, actually, we do have some questions here. Let's see. So, one comment, going Sabalenka mode is a bad strategy unless you happen to be on that day. I prefer the deep rally ball and attack their short balls. Definitely very solid strategy. Charlotte really likes the respect, not hate quote there. So nice going, Pete. We'll give him credit. Let's see. Jay, look, how do you improve your anticipation to beat them?
How you improve your anticipation is like watch this match and kind of like this guy is, you see this? This guy is very good. And again, this is why he won so easily without, you can see this guy, we're playing this at 50% pace. So this guy is hitting harder than it appears, but he really doesn't hit the ball that hard. But this guy is so good at knowing when he is hurt MEP from the moment he's hit his own shot to then watching, he can tell right away. He hits the ball and then he looks up and he sees how MEP is responding to the ball. And that's when he makes his decision if he's going to, you know, lots of times this little drop shot, I know, isn't working for him. But that's how he makes his decision when he's going to go to the net or just stay and set and reset the point. Notice how this guy is one of the best I've seen at resetting points. I mean, I've seen this guy in this video move forward like there. See how he went in? But then look what he does. I'm not going to force it. Reset. A lot of people would have just been frustrated and force it. Look, here he comes. Look at this. See, he came from all the way back at the baseline.
Oh.
Missed that, though. But he had the look he wanted. And I think he won like 6-1. So this guy is really good to study. Maybe even watch the match at 50% pace because you can really see what's going on. Okay. Here's my last one. And I'm going to actually come off the screen here because I want to look at the crowd. We'll watch this one last point. It is fascinating to watch these guys play, I think. That goes to show what a tennis nerd I am, huh?
I love it too.
Okay.
It's great.
Okay. Here's the last one. This is huge. When MEP plays, people love it. Go watch his matches. 300-400 comments for a recreational match. Okay? And what I love about, they always get interviews, the players. And what I love about is their maturity and that, you know, there's players, like I said, most people are going to play the MEP. They have better strokes than him. And they know that they're going to get hundreds of comments. Some comments are going to be like, go MEP. A lot of other comments are going to be like, dude, how could you not blow that guy off the court? Like, you suck. Like, those comments are coming, guys. And when you get into a match and you're playing on your team and you know that, and trust me, this has been right in my heart and in my gut. I have felt this, and I mean, I'm not even ashamed to admit it. It's natural. You get out there and you start looking through the fence and you start seeing your buddies start to snicker and smirk, or you start seeing other people come from other courts to watch because, like, look, he might lose to this pusher, you know? you start to feel that. You start to feel people getting interested in your match because they can see like such a mismatch, but they can see you getting frustrated and nervous and the wheels starting to fall off and people start to pay attention. You start to feel that. What you've got to learn how to do is to not worry about the haters and the outsiders. Because everybody who's snickering and laughing or, you know, or maybe feeling sorry for you, I guarantee you, even though they might be through the fence saying, oh my God, look at this. Can you believe this? If I was out there, I'd be kicking their butt. I guarantee you, if you said, hey, you want to take the racket and finish the match? They'd all go, nope. You have fun out there. Because we've all been out there and we've all felt like we've underperformed in a situation like that. You have got to learn how to block the externals out. Think about what these brave people are doing. They're playing out there in front of nobody, and they know that their match is going to get 20, 30, 40, 100, 200,000 views. They have somehow tapped into something that I must admit they're better at than I am. They're not worried about the haterade. They're just focused on their craft. And if you can do what they're doing, you will be the most mentally tough player on your league roster. I guarantee it.
Love it. Love it, Pete. That was beautiful. Let's see. We have a bunch of questions, Pete. Let's see. So did we get through this? Oh yeah, we did get J-Look's question. So Jim, any tips for high bouncing overheads around the baseline? Comes up a lot for me against pushers.
Yeah. 2, and I just made a video on this, so maybe watch my video on YouTube today, how to handle high balls. Number 1 is have an honest conversation with yourself, Jim. Usually when the moon ball comes, and I'm willing to bet 80% if I gave you a private lesson, if I fed you a moon ball, you would probably first watch it, have it come over the net, have it bounce, and then you'd start to move with it. What you have to realize is that moon ball is a nightmare on the horizon. You have to realize that as soon as it is struck and you see it go high, that you have a problem on your hands. And you can't wait for the problem. You've got to be proactive. So as soon as that ball is hit high and you've determined that you need to move backwards, right? Your first 2 questions are, should I move back or should I take it on the rise? If you determine that moving back is the right thing to do, you've got to bust your booty to the fence and let the ball hit its peak and come down. If you're hitting a lot of overheads on high balls, you probably haven't moved back fast enough. Ideally, what you want to do is move back, have the ball reach its peak, have it come down, and swing up and hit a heavy ball. If the ball is going to bounce right on the baseline, it's definitely not going to be an overhead. That's one that you can either step in and take right out of the air and just block it, or as soon as it bounces, trap it. You can trap it with a block, or you can try and be a little more advanced and sweep it as soon as it bounces. But those are the ways to handle that.
Awesome. Thanks, Pete. We got some more questions. Although I really like this comment from Tom. If you put the video in today, which I will do because you all want it, then that's less than $2 per video. I bought this thing for $99 because 1 hour of tennis lessons at a private club is $90 here in West Palm Beach, Florida. Pete, how much did you pay again for a lesson with Rick Macy?
I took a lesson with Rick Macy. I paid $500 for the hour, plus and got a hotel. So we're looking at that about $800 to $1,000 for that experience. Then I flew out to Jeff Saldenstein, got a plane ticket, took a lesson with Jeff Saldenstein. Then I took a lesson with Dr. Mark Kovacs here in Georgia, paid him $500 for the hour. Then I took a mental train session with Jeff Greenwald, and I paid him $500 for the hour. And with all the expenses, travel, everything, I spent $6,000 of my own money before I made a penny.
Wow. Pretty
Because I invested
solid.
in myself.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what you get to do with the All Access Pass.
I shot videos today for 3 hours. I paid somebody to shoot video. I mean, I believe in investing in myself. If you guys want to get better, you know, you want to invest in yourself. There's no way you could take all this information that's been given to you and go, okay, I got it. Like, there's no way. It's just too much good stuff. to not review again if you really want to get it.
Yeah, definitely. Investing.
Tennis is, I just gotta say this, and then Mehrban, you can take over. Tennis is the mother of all repetition. How do you get? Tsitsipas said, what I am most proud of is my mental consistency, realizing he's finally starting to buy into, I've got to do the same things over and over and over again. This is exactly what he said. This is exactly why he's saying he's playing better tennis, because it's just doing it over and over and over again. It's hearing the same things over and over and over again. It's seeing the same things over and over and over again. And then it's practicing the same things over and over and over again. And then after that, you rinse and repeat it. There's everything here that you need.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's how I become successful at things. Same thing with Pete. It's like you watch something, you do it, and then a lot of times you have to go back to something over and over again, and then repeat it, and that's the way to go. So again, great resource for you here with the All Access Pass. We have some more questions. Omar, I just lost to a pusher worse than the MEP. Just hits flat. I wish he would have at least hit with slice or chip like the MEP. I feel horrible. Omar, it's a tough one, but we hope that the information that Pete showed you today will help you. I don't know if you have any other thoughts, Pete.
Well, a couple of things. First of all, there's nobody, including me and I'm sure I can speak for Mehrban. There's no one out there who has not lost to a pusher. There's no one out there who has not lost a match where you feel like you've underperformed, that you could have done better. I think the worst feeling, though, is when you lose those players, is that they break you down mentally to where you start to check out, and that you walk off the court and you feel like, whoa, wait a second. Now that the match is over, I realized that I let up, that I didn't give my best effort from start to finish, that I just kind of got over it, that I didn't problem solve, that I let the match race away. That's why these tips we're giving you tonight are so valuable. That's why you should go over and over them. That's why you should go over these tips over and over again, because you're going to lose to a pusher again, Omar. It's going to happen. But what I want is the next time is that you don't feel horrible. I want you to go, you know what? I used every single thing, and I fought, and the match lasted a long time, and I went to plan A, B, and C, and I chose the right shot at the right time. That's why you're probably most upset, is that the match probably raced away from you and there was nothing you could do about it, because whether you realize you were checking out or not, and whether you don't realize you didn't give your best effort, you probably feel horrible because there's something inside you that knows that you didn't give your best effort.
Yeah, definitely. Got to give it your all every time. Think of Rafa for inspiration. Let's see. Susanna, is he varying the speed and pace?
Yes, if you watch that match where I think they call him the boss of Atlanta, if you watch it in regular speed, you realize he is varying the speed and the pace. They both do that very well. But the other guy does have more gears than the MEP. So he used slightly more gears. And he chipped, and he hit topspin, and he ripped occasionally. Sometimes he'd throw in an ace. He'd come to the net. So yeah, the thing that makes that counterpunchers love is when you're one-dimensional. Like you're just trying to chop down the tree for 2 hours against them. They love that. They're like, there's no way you're beating me. I'm used to your pace. You can't hit through me. And you think you're a macho man or a macho lady, but you can't hit through me. You've got to do more than this to beat me. Pushers are more sophisticated than you give them credit for. And that's what the boss of Atlanta realized. He didn't just beat him one way. He beat him like 3, 4, 5 ways. That's why he dismantled him. Because he just didn't go with, I should just hit through this guy. He doesn't hit a hard ball. You go back and watch that match again. He beat him 3, 4, 5 ways. That's why the match was so easy for him to win. Where Subhash, who did pretty good, was mostly trying to beat him one way. Hit big, heavy topspin, get a short ball, finish the point. That was Subhash's one strategy. That's the knock on him. Mehrban asked, is he doing a good job coming in? Yes, he did a good job coming in, but that was his only strategy. Hit heavy, get a short ball, come in, finish the point. And that is the mantra of coaches against pushers. That is a bad coaching job. You can't win just hit solid, get a short ball, finish points. That's not going to work. You need more layers, and you need to be willing to reset and realize they're going to have to reset a lot more than you want to.
Yeah, that's really great. I had the same impression, of what you just said in terms of this one strategy, but it's a lot more. So let's see, Jay. Look, I would just counter punch and push the puncher, push the pusher. What do you think about that? Trying to play the pusher's game.
That's what they want. They want you to overhit and they want you to push with them. That's the spider web. That's the pusher spider web. And once they got you trapped in it, it is over. Yeah. Unless you're better at pushing than they are.
Right.
You better hope that you're better at pushing than they are, which you might be.
Because that's a strength. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you might be. If you're better at pushing than them, Jay, then you will. But again, what I'm trying to point out in that second video we watched is it's layers. That dude had a lot more layers than maybe other people who are just watching that video respect or understand. That guy, even though he didn't have the most amazing strokes, he didn't hit the hardest ball, he had layers to what he was doing, and he used them all. That's how he won so easily.
Yeah, thanks, Pete. Let's see. Kelly, when playing a MEP, is it good to mix up your shots, hit with pace, then make them generate pace, then slice, bring them in, etc.?
Yes, Kelly, that's it. That's right. Again, it's being in touch with your confidence meter and going, okay, when I get a good look and I'm feeling it, let it rip. I'm not saying not to let some rip against, people who hit the ball slow. Let them rip. Send a message sometimes. But if you think you're going to do that for 2 or 3 sets straight, 2 or 3 hours straight, you're not going to win. Okay? Then mixing it up, making them generate pace, that has to be every time. If you play somebody who's a counterpuncher who likes to play defense and you don't make them play offense, you did not do your job. If you didn't see how they do at creating offense, you did not do a good job in that match. I always want to see what a defensive player does when I'm an offensive player. I love to serve and volley, and I love to come in on people's second serve. But I always love to see, occasionally I'll see, well, what do you do when I make you come in? And if they don't do much with the ball and I get easy passing shots or they don't have an overhead, I go, ooh, I need to do that a lot more. Maybe I don't need to be coming to the net every 2 seconds, especially what if they got great passing shots? Then I got to change my game a little bit.
Yep. Thanks, Pete. Still chugging along with the questions here, Pete. Let's see. Jay, look, my style is like a MEP. Well, then you can do that, I think. You can't blow pushers off the court if they're fast. Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, it is true. Barbara, block externals. That's tough for me. Glad you brought it up for sure. Samantha, I love it too. Yeah, it is for sure. Jay, look, high balls and low balls are a great strike zone. Definitely agreed. Omar says, thanks, Pete. You're right. And Brad says, great job, guys. I got my all access pass. Highly recommend it. Glad to support all the hard work you put in on this, Mehrban. You and Peter are the best. Brad, super kind of you. Thanks a lot. And yeah, it's definitely a lot of hard work. I definitely feel like just face planting on a couch now. But, just for the love of the game. And I'm just so glad that everybody's enjoying the content, and big ups to Pete as well. He's come on live with me so many times, and he runs a great event too, TennisCon. And yeah, thanks a lot for the support. So let's see. Colin, everyone disrespects the pusher. That's true. And Jim, on the overheads off the bounce of a really high ball, I was asking about where you make contact around the baseline or between the baseline and service line. My default is to hit with a lot of slice. What do you think, Pete?
I like that. So if I got a high ball and I'm able to get behind it quickly, like I was saying, to hit the high topspin ball, but same thing on the overhead. If I got a high ball and I got a chance to move back and then come back to it, I'm going to strike it big. If I'm even with the ball or even having to back up a little bit with it, I'm going to do 2 things. I might slice it back and kind of slice it high over the net with margin and just put it back in play. Or if it's really tough and I feel that any kind of swing, again, it's my confidence meter based on where I am on the court, what kind of ball I have no problem pulling out my inner MEP and just taking my arm, straighten it up where there's very little bend in it, and just push the ball back in high and start the point. So if it's a ball that's going to bounce around the service box, but it's super high, I like to get out of the way as fast as possible, see that thing bounce, measure it, take 1 or 2 hops back into it and crush it. If it's even with me, I'll put some slice on it, or if it's like super tough, I straighten up my arm and just like punch the ball back in, and almost like a volley lob, and just say, let's just restart the point.
Love it. Thank you. Thank you. Cool. All right. So for now, we're good with the questions. We kind of ripped through them. So, Pete, how about so I got requests to actually share the list, and I actually did create them. So how about I just share them real quick? All right, cool.
Okay, we'll share the list real quick.
Alrighty then. Let's see. Let's go here and let me blow this up for you all.
Look what a
so
worker this guy is.
I try, man. So let's see. So here we have the list of how to beat players who are better than you, which is
Yep.
the first part. And Pete, do you want to just run through them?
Yeah, I mean, again, if you watch a lot of Mep's matches, and what you're going to see is he's even tempered. You're never going to see, he doesn't really fist pump, but he doesn't hang his head ever. So you never know if he's winning or losing. That is so frustrating to play too, especially like, like those classic Rocky movies. The most frustrating part of the fight usually is like, Apollo Creed, who's obviously a much better boxer than Rocky. He just looks at Rocky and he shakes his head like, I just can't break this guy. And Mep is like that when you watch him play. He's like the underdog. Most people think about the underdog, but if you're somebody who's playing him and you're out there and you're like, no matter how many winners I hit against this guy, I cannot break his spirit. And it starts to break your spirit. And he's just out there competing. He's not even trying to break your spirit. He's just like, I'm just competing, dude. That's all I'm doing. Number 2 is play within yourself always. Know what your skill set is and go use your strengths. Number 3 is lots of rallies through the middle. That's how you're going to avoid doing a lot of running. If you can hit the ball deep through the middle, a lot of people have trouble making the angles out of that. So you'll have to run less. Number 4, if you can learn how to observe pace, that's one of the most underrated skills on the tennis court. Number 5, on his short ball opportunities, he often draws his opponent in rather than looking to force his way to the net, because he knows that he's not so comfortable at the net. So he has no problem bringing people to the net, passing them, lobbing them. Number 6, every time he gets pushed to a corner, although we didn't see that in the beginning, remember when he's playing Subash in the beginning, he didn't do that. What happened? He lost the point. If you watch more of his matches, when he gets in the corner, he throws in the high ball, he wins about 60% of those points when the other person was clearly on offense and about to win the point. Number 7, 1 pass, 1 lob pattern. Don't try 2 or 3 passing shots in a row. 1 pass, they hit a decent volley. If they hit a decent volley, lob. Number 8, you want to win matches, be fit no matter what your game style is. That will give you confidence to go out there and play all day. Number 9, love the challenge. He loves the challenge. Number 10, don't worry about your flaws. Focus on your strengths.
And wait, but that's not all.
You are incredible. Okay.
Thank you.
How to beat the Mep. Stay positive and play with respect, not hate. And when I talk about hate, a lot of people, unfortunately, start to hate themselves. They start to hate themselves. You start to hate yourself. You're like, I hate that I'm here again in this situation and I'm laying myself down. Then number 2 is you start to hate the situation. You start to go, this isn't real tennis. You know what? I'd rather lose quickly and get on with my day and go shopping or, walk my dog, or you start to act like there's more important things to do with your life, where when you went to the match, that's not what you were thinking. You were hoping you were going to get a great tennis match in. Okay. Don't hate your situation. Love it. It's a great challenge. Love the challenge. And then the third thing is the people who go super dark and negative, they actually start to hate their opponent because they don't play the way that they like to play. They start to think bad about them. And even Mep on his first couple of videos would get some real kind of hateful, dark comments or some really the super cynical crap. And then the more they kept watching Met be interviewed, and they kept watching his effort, and they realized this is not somebody who has a different game that might drive you crazy, but this is actually a real person who's really nice and a great person. They start to go, oh my God, this guy's a legend. I love him. So remember that. There's a real person on the other side who you might be best buddies with if you didn't know their game that you didn't like. Number 2 is be ready and accept longer points and look for multiple opportunities to win points. Enjoy the longer points, and rather than going, oh, I hate these long points, look at the positive and go, well, this person's not going to be hitting winners. They're not going to be blowing me off the court. So I can set up winners. And if I don't get exactly what I want, I can just reset the point. And that's what the boss of Atlanta did. Number 3, play within your game. That's another thing the boss of Atlanta did. You didn't see that guy. That guy could have gone, oh man, I have some power. I'm more powerful than the Met, but probably to beat this guy, I probably have to step my power game up like 4 or 5 levels. If he would have done that, he would have been playing outside of his capability. He always played, when he went to his power shot, he always kept it within his wheelhouse. He never went outside of his wheelhouse. Number 4, stay a gear or 2 ahead. It is important to really understand what's going on and to make sure that your level of hitting is slightly harder than the pusher. If you start to match pace, that's when you get into the spider web. You're most likely going to lose. Look to methodically finish points in the midcourt and the net. That's another thing that the boss of Atlanta did. He was methodical. He'd get the setup and either decide to run on in or stay back. And he was super methodical, and he made different choices. Sometimes he sliced his way into the net. Sometimes he top-spinned his way into the net. And sometimes he hit a little short ball and forced Met to the net. That's one thing Subhash did not do on the first video. And that's why I think, even though if you watch Subhash, I think he had better and more game when people just talk about game. But that's why the win was so much harder for him, because he didn't do those multiple layers. Number 6, play under control offensively. It's kind of already been said. Number 7, don't worry what our outsiders are thinking. That's huge. And that's probably why people have the most trouble is you start to get anxiety within yourself, and then you look outside the fence, and then you start to think, oh crap, now everybody's watching. This is really a nightmare. You've got to learn to block that out. You got to realize every single person that you think is thinking negative of your situation would not want to trade places with you in a million years. Why? Because they've been in that same exact situation and they know it sucks. Number 8 is pay attention to your confidence meter. If you're feeling confident, let it rip. If you're not feeling confident, don't worry, you can chip. That's it.
Beautiful. Love that. That was so good. Let me go back to us. And one real quick question. Please talk about returning a weak bloop serve from a pusher, especially in doubles. Yum, yum.
Okay.
What do you think?
Again, that's the perfect thing. I have this one guy on Friday. He's got amazing strokes, but his confidence meter goes from here to here. And we did a drill last week, and he says he loses to pushers a lot. We did a drill last week, and we've been working on it now for over a month. So now he's getting it. Where he crushed, and when I'm saying crushed, I'm saying he hit 10 forehands that if I hit him in a row, I'd go, I just crushed 10 forehands in a row. Like, they were good, okay? He crushed 10 forehands in a row that would have probably won him a lot of free points. And how did he do it? Because his confidence meter was super high. And we got a score too. He was 10 out of 10. We've done this drill before. He's been like that. So in that moment, his confidence level was high, and he went 10 out of 10. So there's no reason why he shouldn't just keep ripping. But also, I've seen his confidence meter go in the dungeon where he'd make like 2 out of 10 once he misses one. No sense in keep forcing and crushing. That's when you go to your chip return. You can do so much damage in singles and doubles with a nasty, low, short chip return. That's the second shot. I'd go from crushing, and then when the confidence meter went low, I'd go to a chip low return, bring the opponent in, set up your lob, set up your pass.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Kelly, interesting question. Kelly, wouldn't you consider Nadal and a MEP with unbelievable skills, mental toughness, and fitness? He isn't going to give you the match.
I think Nadal is a better player than Nadal. I think Nadal is a better player than Nadal. I think Nadal is a better player than Nadal. I think Nadal is a better player than Nadal. I think Nadal is a better player than Nadal. I think Nadal is a better player than Nadal. I think Nadal is a better player than Nadal. I think Nadal is a better player than Nadal. I think Nadal is a better player than Nadal. I think Nadal is a better player than Nadal. I think Nadal is a better player than Nadal. I think Nadal is a better player than Nadal. I think Nadal is a better player than Nadal. I think Nadal is a better player than Nadal. I think Nadal is a better player than Nadal. I think Nadal is a better player than Nadal. I think Nadal is a better player than Nadal. I think Nadal is a better player than Nadal. I think Nadal is a better player than Nadal. I think Nadal is a better player than Nadal. I think Nadal is a better player than Nadal. I think Nad I would. It's definitely a different energy. One thing that's kind of interesting is Nadal. Nadal's good at not getting too down on himself. But one thing that I actually like that Nadal does, and so it's not a one size fits all. I like the way Mep goes about it, but Nadal also does let you know when he's feeling the comeback or when he's winning or when he is enjoying the competition. He really gets himself fired up. Mep doesn't do that. You're not gonna. He just literally, you don't know if he's winning or losing. Nadal, you do know, like, shoot, he's getting pumped up. Oh my God, now he's really fired up. Oh, you better run. That's like what Nadal does to you. So it's a little different.
Yeah, definitely. Tanya, thank you, two great guys, for hooking us up with all the knowledge. Our pleasure, Tanya. Today I just sit back and let Pete run the show. I love it. He's so good, and he's just been like his attitude and just the way he loves to teach everybody is so infectious, and really appreciate that from Peter. Let's see, what else do we have? I don't think we have too much else. Brad did say you taught me that tweener volley and it works, so that's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. So I think we're good with questions, Pete. I mean, do you have any other comments, and then we can recap this amazing deal that you're offering for us that's expiring tonight.
Well, I think what it is, Mehrban just loves this summit. He's put in. It's hard to end it, right? You're exhausted, but then you don't want it to end. I know the same thing from TennisCon. So that's why we're here
totally.
an hour and a half into this, because it's like it's kind of bittersweet at the end. But guys, we are at the end, and I can tell you that Mehrban has worked his butt off. Okay, even tonight, just take a look at tonight. He's here an hour and a half on with you after he's been working. I'm sure he's getting up super early in the morning, staying up late at night, and then even I made the list and he wrote down the list, which if you sign up tonight too, you're going to get that list. You're going to get the video as well as the 50 other videos you're getting, as well as the 10 bonuses I'm going to give you, plus my Tabata workout. Okay. And one thing I will say, this is my final thing before I want Mehrban to take over and show you once again everything you're going to get if you decide to purchase tonight, because tomorrow when you wake up, you will not be able to do it. Is I'm teaching this high performance class right now with these juniors where they are really, really good. One thing that's interesting, we're working a lot on the serve, and they all need a lot of work on their serve. Even though their serve overall looks good, they have a long way to go on their serve. And one thing that's interesting is their serve looks good because of a lot of repetition, but a lot of the information that's in here when it comes to problem-solving technique that's in the videos, I just start to take for granted. I think everybody knows it. That the strategy, that I just think, well, everybody knows it. The mental lessons. I just start to feel, since I'm in this world, that everybody knows this stuff. I'm asking these kids who look like rock stars when they miss a serve, why did you miss that serve? They don't know. They don't know because they don't study this part. They're heavy in the drills, they're heavy in the clinics, they're heavy into tournaments, but it's amazing how they don't know how to problem solve yet. And why is that? Because they're not doing this part. If they would have gone through my serve course and I asked them exactly why they were missing their shot, Sam, they would have really watched the videos. They would have gone like this, bam, bam, bam. I missed that because of that. I missed that because of that. I missed that. They literally were giving, and it's amazing because these kids are damn 3 guesses and they were always wrong. But if you watch these videos, if you're doing a good job watching these videos, you should know exactly why you missed serves, exactly why you missed a forehand, exactly why you didn't go with the right strategy, and why is that powerful? Why should you know that? Because that's what the pros can do. Because as soon as a pro misses a shot, they know exactly why they missed it, and they know exactly the fix, and they fix it right away. That's how you avoid going into spiraling rabbit holes and deep slumps in your matches and then in your tennis.
Love it. Love it. Thank you so much for that, Pete. Let's see. Hiram said, I think we might have had that comment up already, but Hiram just thanks us and definitely appreciate your support, Hiram, for the comments as well. Kelly says it's doing the skills under pressure. J-Look said Mep wouldn't get good TV ratings on the circuit. You never know. I mean, he's really popular, though, among a lot of people, right?
Yeah, he's one of the most popular tennis people online who's not a professional tennis player. I'll tell you that. He gets hundreds of thousands of views. All right, Mehrban, take it away, dude. I want you to show everybody what they're getting. We've got to close this thing out. I got to go get some chicken wings. I'm ready for some chicken wings.
Yes, sir. So I just want to educate everybody and let you know what you're going to get one more time. So expiring tonight, the last night to get it, last night, is the 40 plus videos. Actually, with this video that we're adding, it's going to be, I think, 48 videos now. So that's amazing. You can watch them anytime you want with the All Access Pass if you get it tonight. You'll get the MP3 audio files of every single session, which will be fantastic for you to listen to the content whenever you like, wherever you like. The transcripts of all of the summit sessions, which is another great way to consume the content and takes so much time from my team to create. The Tennis Summit implementation worksheet to help you implement all the sessions, everything that you've learned to take away the most important information from them. The exclusive access to the Summit Facebook group to chat with me about tennis and your fellow All Access Pass holders. The members-only VIP live streams with me coming in the future, and special deals and discounts from our partners. And then, on top of all this, you're also going to get Pete's top 10 TennisCon lessons and Tabata workout, which is a $197 value. But you can only get that if you use Peter's link, which I will drop in the chat once again, and it's right below this video for most of you who are watching. So you'll get all that with the All Access Pass, only $97. As you can see, you're getting, almost $3,000 value, from the getting the pass. So I highly encourage you to get it, and I'll drop the link here once again. So that is pretty much all I have, Pete. Any closing words?
My last closing words are: look at that contact, write it down. If you're not on my email list and now you're just kind of getting interested in what we're doing and you want to sign up, definitely take my information down, crunchtimecoaching@gmail.com, because if you do not get my bonuses before 1 p.m. tomorrow, something has gone wrong that I need to fix. Either you just didn't see the email come in, or maybe somehow the email system, because we use mass email systems, guys. Just a little bit of behind the scenes inside baseball. We use mass email systems. Sometimes the email systems will just take certain emails off the list, right? I don't know why or how they do that. I don't run that I just don't know why they do or they don't, but I think sometimes that happens. So if you don't get your bonus, email me at crunchtimecoaching@gmail.com and I'll make sure that you get it. Believe me, we both work extremely hard at this content. We are extremely proud of it, and we want you to get it. And the reason we want you to get it is because we want you to become loyal customers. You go, wow, these guys deliver great content, and we want more of it, and because we just love to give this to you guys. So we don't want any bad experiences. We're like, oh, I signed up for this and I didn't get it. Believe me, we work hard to give it to you. So if you don't get it, there's something going wrong. It's not us going, ha, 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 they didn't get it, we fooled them. That's not happening. That makes us sick to our stomach. I can tell you, when people email me and they write me sometimes to act like I didn't give them what they wanted, and they get upset and they feel like I literally get sick to my stomach when I read those emails, and I feel super bad. I'm sure you feel the same way, Mehrban.
Oh yeah, totally. I just want to rush and get them whatever it is they're asking for, ASAP. So we certainly want to get you everything that we promised for sure, and you will get it. Definitely contact Pete. You can
Kelly,
contact
make sure
me.
you email me, Kelly. Kelly, please email me too, so I see the email and I can respond right to it. Okay, because we have a lot of buyers, which is great. We love that, and then we just have a lot of things going on. I've been working since 9 in the morning. So, and I'm getting older every day and more forgetful. So Kelly, I want to make sure you get that. So make sure you email me. Take that email at crunchtimecoaching@gmail and email me right now and say I didn't get my bonuses, and I'll make sure I get it to you in the morning.
There you go. I mean, we see how awesome Pete is. Him and I, we just want to, please and get you what you like, and that's how it is. So definitely highly encourage you to get this all access pass. Like seriously, I mean it. Like tonight is the last time to get it. It's gonna go away at midnight Pacific time. So, Pete, any closing thoughts? I know you want to get some wings, and I'm looking forward to the next time we can talk again in front of all you beautiful people. Even though I only see a few of your pictures. So, any last words?
I just enjoy doing this with you, and I look forward to making this a continued tradition. I'm proud of both of us because we've made both of our events, now into our 5th year. And I know the first year, at least for me, I'm like, is this going to work? Is this like, and it's overwhelming. Same. And now, we've gone to year 5 together, and we're building it like a tradition, so I'm just excited for year 6, 7, 8, to where it's like a 10-year anniversary, a 20-year anniversary. And I can just tell that you have this down to where this is going to be a long tradition for passionate tennis players who are always looking for that extra information for years to come. So great job once again.
Thanks, Pete. Love you, man. You do a great job. You got to go to TennisCon in the fall. And thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Pete. And yeah, hop on that All Access Pass and support Pete. You see how awesome he is and how hard he works. And so just use the link that I dropped in the chat. And yeah, thank you all, everybody. And we will see you again, hopefully very soon. So take care, Pete, and take care, everyone. And all the best to you.
See you guys.
Bye.